of the flu in Indiana this year, and the problem Indiana's Attorney General says he's trying to solve. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 9 o'clock.
He hopes Gaza is next. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. President Biden renewing the push to stop the war there on day one of the ceasefire now in effect between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Now Hamas has a choice to make. Their only way out is to release the hostages.
Now, in the Hezbollah ceasefire deal, militants have to move farther away from Israel's border, and Fox's Jonathan Savage reports.
The Israel Defense Forces confirm they'll conduct a gradual withdrawal from southern Lebanon over the next 60 days. And IDF security officials told Fox News their campaign against Hezbollah has set the Iran-supported militia back years. The last few months have seen intense airstrikes and a limited ground invasion. Most of Hezbollah's leaders have been killed.
And now President-elect Trump has nominated somebody to work with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., his pick to lead the Department of Health and Human Services.
Stanford University physician and economist Jay Bhattacharya has been named as President-elect Donald Trump's pick to be director of the National Institutes of Health. Bhattacharya, a critic of the pandemic lockdowns and vaccine mandates, was one of three authors of the Great Barrington Declaration, which was an open letter published in October 2020 that said lockdowns were causing irreparable harm and promoted herd immunity. The nominations of both Bhattacharya and Kennedy have to be confirmed by the Senate.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Trump is also bringing Kevin Hassett back to lead the National Economic Council. We just got an update showing a slight decline in new unemployment claims last week, but the number of people still collecting jobless benefits rose to a three-year high. Later this morning, we'll get an update on inflation for last month. A lot of Americans are going somewhere for Thanksgiving in what's expected to be record travel. Most are driving, but airports are crowded too. This woman flying out of Dallas says it's all going to plan.
I've got the morning flight to Atlanta. The plane's already on the ground. So I feel pretty good about that.
There are only 23 flights canceled nationwide, though there are more than 500 delays. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Caught and arrested. It's cloudy and 41 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. That's the case for a 7th grader in Noblesville, who the FBI says is behind an anonymous video posted online of threats being made against Noblesville East Middle School. The threats canceled classes yesterday, and students will remain home until after Thanksgiving. The student arrested is charged with intimidation. It's too warm for it to stick around, but you may see some snow later this evening and overnight, starting as rain.
Some places could experience a brief changeover to snow, which might amount to up to an inch, or a few places might get lucky and have a locally higher amount than that if they find themselves under a heavy band of precipitation.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service. He says to be mindful as you drive tomorrow, as some roads may be slick. It's flu season, and the state says one person has died from the flu. Jake McDaniel reports.
It was the first flu death of the 2024 the 2025 flu season, which is when many people get sick from the flu, and that's short for influenza, which can sometimes be fatal. Around 270 Indiana residents died from influenza during the 2023 to 2024 flu season. The Indiana Department of Health encourages you to stay safe from influenza, and the CDC encourages those who are 6 months and older to get their flu shot every year. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Attorney General Todd Rokita has been demanding information from companies in Indiana through subpoenas who he believes might be employing people in the U.S. illegally.
I'm just trying to do my job as I can with the levers as short as they are that I have to help solve an issue here. And there clearly is an issue.
Talking with Tony Katz, this in reference to recent issues in Logansport and Seymour, where some have said resources are strained due to immigrants with temporary protected status settling there. Indiana ranked number 10 in the latest college football playoff rankings, which were released last night. Notre Dame is number 5, and that puts both teams solidly in the playoff field for now, but both need wins Saturday to keep it that way. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Bear.
All right, Kurt, looking at southbound 65 coming down from Lebanon, Boone County. Everything up to speed from US 52 through State Road 267 through the Dogleg and into Marion County. No problems there. And everything coming into the north split on westbound 70 or southbound 65. Good to go. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. PureTalk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
You think the Bible's boring? It's hard to understand? This is Pastor Nathan from Life Church. We explain the Bible book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse. We know God's Word breathes life into people Sunday after Sunday. And when we finish a book, not only will you understand it, but we believe that it'll change you. We just started the book of John, and it reveals who God is. If you're just curious or you've walked with the Lord for a long time, we'd love to have you come. Check out lifechurchin.com for service times and locations.
Building a home can be fun with Joyner Homes because they handle everything. Permits, schedules, their in-house architectural team and design studio where you choose everything is in one spot. So you're going to be able to focus on the fun stuff and not sweat the heavy stuff. Joyner Homes builds beautiful, unique homes that are character-rich, smart design homes that are affordable. Visit JoynerHomes.com and be sure to check out their 5-star Google reviews. That's JoynerHomes.com.
Join Sullivan Hardware and Garden early on Friday. Enjoy a little breakfast and save on gifts, decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Shop, play, experience Christmas with Sullivan's.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Diamond Engagement Ring Store.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Cloudy skies this morning. Scattered rain showers arrive this afternoon, a high of 44. Showers mixing with snow at times. Late tonight will dry out overnight, a low of 32. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
41 and cloudy on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, good morning. It is Wednesday, November 27th. It is 7 minutes after 9. It is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. Rob Kendall has the day off. Jim Roberts is in the studio this morning. And make sure to turn your scales back by 15 pounds tonight.
Kind of like daylight savings time.
Yeah.
This is what, daylight eating time?
It's something. Did you notice how light the traffic was downtown on our way in this morning?
Nobody on the streets today. Everybody's got the day off in advance of the holiday.
Anybody working today? Well, we're working. And we're going to start off with the big announcement from Joe Biden yesterday. He has taken credit for the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah. And after securing that deal, he said that he's working on a similar one between Gaza. And he is discussing that the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, with plans for Lebanon's army to take control of its territory and Israel gradually withdrawing its forces over 60 days. He announced that the U.S., along with Turkey, Egypt, Qatar, Israel, and others, will continue to push for a ceasefire in Gaza. So Israel has agreed to the ceasefire with Hezbollah, and that would end nearly 14 months of fighting. Is this just a coincidence that Israel has agreed to this ceasefire right after talks with Trump? Even the Washington Post said that Israel was doing this as a, quote, gift to Donald Trump.
So this is some good news. But I'm sorry if I'm not all excited about this like the legacy media is. One, this is not Hamas. Let's keep in mind, Hamas are the ones that attacked Israel and invaded Israel on October 23. They're also the group that is still holding American hostages. Why is nobody talking about the 7 Americans that were kidnapped during that invasion of Israel in 2023? They're still being held in the tunnels of Gaza by Hamas. American citizens held hostage by a terrorist organization for over a year. Where are the protests on college campuses about this? Where is the discussion of this in the media or even with the Biden administration? It's embarrassing. So this is Hezbollah ceasefire. This has nothing to do with their war with Hamas. Two, the only reason Hezbollah agreed to this is because Israel has killed most of their top commanders already, destroyed most of their weapons, killed thousands of their fighters. Three, the ceasefire is only for 90 days. Or 60 days, rather. So it's only for 60 days. So if they can't get a permanent truce signed,
what next?
We're going to be right back to where we were yesterday. And fourth, this ceasefire explicitly states that if Hezbollah breaks the ceasefire, the terms are off. And Hezbollah has a history of breaking ceasefires. So it's a positive sign, but let's not act like, oh, this is the beginning of the end here with the war in Israel. It's probably a big nothing burger at the end of the day.
Well, here is Joe Biden making the announcement.
Under the deal reached today, effective at 4 a.m. tomorrow local time, the fighting across the Lebanese-Israeli border will end. Will end. This is designed to be a permanent cessation of hostilities. What is left of Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations will not be allowed, I emphasize, will not be allowed to threaten the security of Israel again. Over the next 60 days, the Lebanese army and state security forces will deploy and take control of their own territory once again. Hezbollah terrorist infrastructure in southern Lebanon will not be allowed to be rebuilt. And over the next 60 days, Israel will gradually withdraw its remaining forces. And civilians on both sides will soon be able to safely return to their communities.
Okay, so you had mentioned what's going on with Gaza and Israel. He outlined a vision for a peaceful Middle East with Palestinians achieving statehood and Israelis and Palestinians enjoying security, prosperity, and dignity, is what he said. He also mentioned the U.S. is prepared to conclude historic deals with Saudi Arabia to help establish a Palestinian state and normalize relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel.
My favorite part of that clip is where Joe Biden mentioned the 7 American hostages still being held by him. Oh, he didn't mention them. Right. That's right. Nothing about that. Everything about everybody else except for what America first. And this is why that America first stance from Donald Trump was so popular. Joe Biden running his mouth all about Gaza, all about Hezbollah and Hamas. Not one single mention of 7 American citizens still being held in the tunnels of Gaza by Hamas.
Joe Biden and Joe Biden in Nantucket right now for their last Thanksgiving holiday on the taxpayer's dime, by the way. Another thing that he has done is he has requested an additional $24 billion in aid for Ukraine. It's part of a budget proposal amid ongoing discussions in Congress. The funding is aimed at backfilling U.S. military stocks and supporting Ukraine's security through the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. That's a fun name. And this request, it comes just weeks before the transition to the new administration. So it's getting a lot of different reactions, a lot of skepticism over the timing, and concerns about the implications for U.S. foreign policy and budget allocations. I mean, he's doing this right before he's about to tiptoe out of the office. So what is he doing? One last chance to launder as much cash as possible before he's out of power?
This is like when an employee quits their job and puts in their 2-week notice and spends that 2 weeks stealing all the office supplies.
I'll take this ream of paper.
Exactly. He is trying to. I remember when the transition from the Clinton administration to the George W. Bush administration, the Clinton staffers removed all the W's from the computer keyboards in the White House. Remember
right.
that?
I do remember that.
That's kind of like a senior prank, kind of a fun little ribbing at the new administration. Joe Biden's taking it to a whole new level. Hey, you want to shoot off American rockets deep into Russia? Go ahead. We lost. Who cares? You want to give $24 billion more to Ukraine? Go ahead. He's still got 6-8 weeks left in office, and he can do a lot more damage in the next 8 weeks.
So Sharon Stone, yes, the actress, she was over in Italy. What was she there for?
She is in Italy attending the Torino Film Festival that is in Turin, Italy.
Oh, that sounds really important to her. But she was ranting about the election, and this is what Sharon Stone thinks of you.
My country is in its adolescence. Adolescence is very arrogant. Adolescence thinks it knows everything. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. And we are in our ignorant, arrogant adolescence. We haven't seen this before in our country. So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated, are in their extraordinary naivete.
Thank you for that. Shall we talk about an actress that's known for flashing her ha-ha, talking about your morality? So what she is saying is that 60% of the country is wrong, but she's right.
She's right. Hey,
Yeah.
if you weren't so dumb, if you weren't so uneducated, if you weren't such a bitter clinger, clinging to your guns and your religion, you would have voted for Kamala Harris instead of Donald Trump. And here she is in Italy telling the rest of the world what she thinks. This is what the left thinks of you.
Yeah. They think you're naive, ignorant, arrogant, uneducated. Heck, you don't even have a passport. You don't travel, even though this is one of the biggest travel days of the entire year.
Yeah, we don't, Americans don't need to travel.
We've got everything in this country.
Yeah, exactly.
Sea to shining sea.
The United States is almost as big as Europe. So when somebody goes from Germany to France, that's like me driving to Kentucky.
Yeah.
We travel. We've got an amazing bit of culture. 50 states, and it's like 50 different countries, different cultures, different accents, mountains, oceans, plains. Americans don't have to be internationally traveled to be educated and sophisticated.
Do you want to tell the story about when we met her?
We did. Well, I'll set it up, but you got to tell your part of the story.
So this was in Washington D.C. It was the broadcast leadership.
It was a very fancy muckety muck for broadcasters in Washington D.C. It was a very black tie.
Yeah, you wore a tuxedo.
I was wearing a tux. It was a very fancy, radio broadcasting event and some awards.
Service Industry Awards is what it was.
The Service to America Award.
Okay, yeah.
In Washington D.C. and this is something they have there every single year. And awards highlights radio stations that serve their communities. It's very fancy at this very historic place in Washington D.C. and the celebrity speaker that evening was Sharon Stone. And the group that we were with, including the two of us, got an opportunity after the event to meet Sharon Stone and take a couple of photos. And that's when you turned on your charm, didn't you?
I stood in line. I don't know if I stood in line.
You skipped to the front of the line.
That's what I did. I got a quick photo with her, and then I said, I gotta go.
I'm out of time. I gotta go, Sharon Stone. So you
normally it's someone like her saying, I'm out of time, I've got to go. I flipped the script on her.
You totally flipped the script on her.
I said, I gotta go. I'm out of time.
And she deserved it. Sorry, Sharon, I don't have enough time to sit here and talk to you. I have to go. Other things more important to do.
Yeah, well, she thinks that I'm naive and ignorant and arrogant and all of that. Alec Baldwin was at the same event, and he had some nice choice words for you, and we'll share those coming up from 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
Matt Bear, can I get a woo from you?
Woo! Yuletide, Merry Christmas, everybody. But
Yuletide was a great wrestler. He would perform the mistletoe.
That was his manager, Mistletoe. Yeah,
right.
Running from the crowd.
You are the classy Freddie Blassie of WIBC. You really are.
You're Jake the Snake. So.
That's just rude.
No.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
The silence you just heard? You could have used that space to reach your customers. Get your message in front of your customers. Text BUSINESS to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1. Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Not only is Sharon Stone in Italy for some muckety-muck event for people from Hollywood, but Alec Baldwin was there as well. And he said that half of the people in this country are very unhappy and are having a very difficult time with Trump's election victory.
It's a shame
I know.
for Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. So when you're sitting around and Saturday Night Live comes on, and they always have some Thanksgiving special, right?
Always.
And he always pops in and does a cameo, or he's part of the staff or whatever. Just remember that this is what he thinks of you.
In my country, without going into significant detail, half the people in the country are happy and half the people in the country are very unhappy. It's a very difficult time in the United States. And I think the only way people can learn what is happening, and film is unique in this way, not only what's happening in the United States, but around the world.
Okay, so just keep in mind that he has shot more people than Donald Trump has.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice one.
Well-
Look, keep it up, liberals. Keep it up, liberal Hollywood. I hope they keep talking down to Americans. Keep telling Americans they're uninformed. Keep telling them they're uneducated, that they're racist, misogynist, fascist, Hitler. Keep playing identity politics. Keep pushing for dudes in dresses to be in women's locker rooms and bathrooms and sports, and keep pushing pronouns and safe spaces and on-demand abortion right up until the time of birth. Keep telling us that Kamala was an amazing generational candidate and Biden was one of the greatest presidents in our country's history. Please, please, please keep it up, because if you do, you'll never win another election. A complete lack of self-awareness on their part is absolutely shocking.
So Senator John Kennedy was asked about this, and he delivers some unforgettable responses. He always does. Like to play him just because he likes to. He's a good wordsmith, right?
Mr. Soundbite.
Yeah, he is. And here he is responding to the Hollywood people name-calling Trump supporters.
Here's what I think. I think these people are goofy. They have the right to their opinion, but they're just goofy. They hate George Washington and Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln and Dr. Zeus and Mr. Potato Head. They think our kids ought to be able to change genders at recess. They carry around Ziploc bags of kale to give themselves energy. To me, to each his own. To me, kale tastes like I'd rather be fat. Now, these people are entitled to their opinion, but they have an unwarranted sense of moral and intellectual superiority. They think they're smarter and more virtuous than the American people. And they think we're not real people. But we were, and we are real people. And in this last election, we got real mad. And we sent a message clearly, unequivocally. And my message to all my friends and my enemies in America is Happy Thanksgiving and stay deplorable, my friend.
You can't help but feel good about being a deplorable after hearing that from Senator Kennedy.
Remember that, what was it, that Dos Equis ad campaign? Stay thirsty, my friends. He kind of put a new twist on it with that.
Right.
I like that. We need to get that on T-shirts. Put it in the Hammer and Nigel store. Stay deplorable, my friends.
Every time he's on TV, he is a highlight reel. And he did say Happy Thanksgiving. And here are... here's a funny clip. So this is like, these are the same Democrats complaining about Trump's tariffs. These are the people that actually voted for 4 more years of this, a grocery shopping experience.
Find everything you need today?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
Everything okay, ma'am?
It's just that you've only scanned a few items and it's already $60. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm a trained professional, ma'am. I've scanned a lot of groceries. I need you to stay with me.
It's just that my in-laws are in town and they want a charcuterie board.
Well, this isn't going to be easy, so I need you to be brave, all right? What's your name?
Patricia.
Patricia, all right. I need you to take a deep breath. We're about to do the cheese.
Oh, my God. The numbers are going up so fast. Why do we have to be a Balderson's house?
Don't look up there. It only makes it worse. Keep your eyes on me, okay?
Can't you just scan something less expensive?
I can, but let's not forget, it's the little things that add up, all right? Now brace yourself. I'm about to do the mixed nuts.
Oh, my God, I'm going to pass out.
Okay, bite down on this, Patricia. Get ready. I'm going to do the cured meats.
No, stop. I can't do this anymore.
It's too late. There's a line behind you, okay? You're locked in.
I'm not strong enough.
I know it looks like a lot right now, but I promise you, you're going to get home and you're going to wonder, what did I even buy? You've got this, Patricia. Get ready. I'm going to weigh the grapes.
Oh, what have you done to me, you son of a...
Okay, your total's $257.84.
Oh, no.
You got to dig deep. This is the hardest part. Patricia, it's time to pay.
It's time to pay. Swipe. Somebody said, I think it was Frank Lentz who said that it was $58 for a Thanksgiving meal for 10 people. Baloney.
Yeah, I'm not. Everybody's manipulating everything these days, and all data is being manipulated. And the idea that Thanksgiving for 10 people is $58 this year, I'm not buying any part of it.
We've got the news coming up next. It's 93 WIBC.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Strike gold with the best ticket deals of the season.
Halliburton on the move, bouncing it into the lane. You will not see a better pick and roll than that. Turner dunks it with a right hand.
Pacer tickets starting at just $5.
Now he goes behind the back. Turner for 3.
Gold Friday presented by KeyBank is your chance to get tickets to some of the biggest games starting at just $5. These deals won't last long. Head to Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday to get yours.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A log jam at some airports. It's cloudy and 41 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Holiday travelers are lining up at America's airports. Over 220 flights across the country have been delayed this morning, but there were less than 20 cancellations at last check, according to FlightWare. The TSA expects Thanksgiving travelers to arrive at the airport, and they also advise you to be there about 2 hours early. Do you have an influencer that you like to follow? Well, Fox's Tanya J. Powers on a new study that shows the information that they share may not be that accurate.
A study by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, found that 62% of digital content creators surveyed said they did not verify the accuracy of information before sharing it with their followers online. Nearly 6 in 10 creators use their personal experiences as a content source, and nearly 4 in 10 say their source was research or interviews with people familiar with the subject matter. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Top experts from Mexico as well as Canada say the hefty tariffs proposed by President-elect Trump would harm all of the economies involved. Trump vowed on Monday to impose 25% tariffs on the U.S.'s North American trade partners on his first day in office. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Stocks are mixed to start the day. The Dow is up 45 to 44,996. The Nasdaq is down 45 to 20,948. And the S&P 500 is down 4 to 6,034. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best. But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911 Capability Now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
I slid off the road and the airbag went off. The snow's getting heavier. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
This holiday season, find the perfect gift and save big at PA Jewelers in Brownsburg. Their prices are up to 70% less than other jewelry stores because they don't spend big on flashy sponsorships. Instead, they focus on giving you incredible value. If you're looking for a unique gift, they have it with vintage and estate rings, including jewelry with history and character. Plus, they have their collection of Black Hills gold, sterling silver, turquoise, and also artisan pieces. They're all unmatched. And don't forget, Premier Arms next door for holiday gifts like quality firearms, knives, and accessories. Visit premierarms.com or call 317-858-3030 today, because true friends don't overcharge and smart shoppers don't overpay. PA Jewelers, more than a kiss.
Looking for a great place to go for car care?
Hi, this is Lonnie Hinkle from Jiffy Lube, and I'd like to share the top 5 reasons that every Hoosier should trust Jiffy Lube to help keep their car running safe and well. Number 5, our computer system holds the maintenance data for every make and model. We know exactly what your car needs and when it needs to be done. Number 4, Jiffy Lube's training system is in the Training Magazine Hall of Fame. Along with companies like Ritz-Carlton, Starbucks, and Nordstrom's, our team does the job right. Number 3, you never need an appointment. We are ready to serve you whenever it works best for you, so come on in and see us. Number 2, Jiffy Lube accepts competitor coupons so you can get our great service at the desperate price of our competitors. And number 1, Jiffy Lube is a one-stop maintenance shop, and we make it easy for you to take great care of your car. Avoid the repair shop by getting your maintenance done at Jiffy Lube. And we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores.
So head to Jiffy Lube. There's really no reason to take your car anywhere else.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that he had a good call with Donald Trump after the president-elect vowed to slap a 25% tariff on Canada, also Mexico. And the comment comes as Mexico's president said that she's also wanting to talk with Donald Trump, scrambling to contact him. But Justin Trudeau not only said the call was good, but he said that he was confident that the U.S. and Canada could work together in constructive ways.
Bonjour tout le monde. I had a good call with Donald Trump last night again. We obviously talked about laying out the facts, talking about how the intense and effective connections between our two countries flow back and forth. We talked about some of the challenges that we can work on together. It was a good call. This is something that we can do, laying out the facts, moving forward in constructive ways. This is a relationship that we know takes a certain amount of working on, and that's what we'll do. One of the really important things is that we be all pulling together on this. The Team Canada approach is what works. That's where, putting aside partisanship, that's where I reached out immediately to Doug Ford to agree with him that we would have a First Ministers meeting this week to talk about the United States. Talked with François Legault and some other premiers as well. There's work to do, but we know how to do it.
So Trump's not even the president yet, and both Mexico and Canada are scrambling to get in line. However, Donald Trump may just want to skip any talks with Justin Trudeau and move right on to Pierre Poilievre, who is most likely going to be the next prime minister. And he has a lot more in common than Donald Trump because he wants to send back the 4 million newcomers to Canada whose visas expire in 13 months. So this is a conservative guy in Canada, probably going to be the next prime minister. And he's talking about deportations there in Canada as well.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau is done. His own party has turned on him. And keep in mind, they have a parliamentary system in Canada, different than we have here. But his own party has turned on him. It's likely Canada is going to have elections in the next couple of months. Pierre is the head of the Conservative Opposition Party. All the polls indicate that they will win and win big. So talking with Justin Trudeau is pretty much just a friendly phone call up at this point because it really doesn't matter. Trudeau is done. Pierre is going to be the new PM. And he just came out yesterday, Pierre did, slamming Justin Trudeau because Trudeau supports the International Criminal Court's arrest of Benjamin Netanyahu. I mean, so there's a lot more in common with Trump and Pierre than there ever would be with Trudeau.
Yeah. So Senator Chris Coons, he says that he doesn't think that we should slap double-digit tariffs on Canada.
So what about the tariff plan that the president-elect, we're already seeing the Mexican president come out and say there'll be no more caravans coming to the border, and then she threatened to impose tariffs of their own on the Mexican side. The Canadian prime minister already talking with the president-elect about increasing border protection on the northern side. 4 years of the Biden administration, we had about 9 million encounters at the southern border, and one threat of tariffs now, and there's movement from those other countries to help us. What do you make of that?
So first, our top 3 trading partners in the world are Mexico, Canada, and China. I appreciate the focus on fentanyl and on trying to reduce fentanyl trafficking into the United States. That's also a bipartisan priority. On CODELs or congressional delegation trips to Mexico that I've been on in the last year that were bipartisan, we prioritized with the former Mexican president trying to reduce the amount of fentanyl coming into the United States. I don't think we should slap double-digit tariffs on Canada because they're a solid and reliable partner, and fentanyl is not principally coming into the United States through the U.S.-Canada border. And I am concerned about the way this will increase costs for millions of Americans if most of our imports from Canada and Mexico and most of our exports to these countries face 25% tariffs. That'll raise costs for the average American. And I think your average American who voted for Donald Trump did so because they'd like to see costs go down, not go up.
Right. You know what also raised cost?
What's that?
Government spending.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That affects it?
That's
a little weird.
How about the U.S.-Canada border is one of the largest on Earth, if not the largest. Slap the tariff on them, make a point, if nothing else. And if Canada is such a solid partner, why aren't they doing more to stop the flow of illegal immigration?
This is all negotiation, and there is no better negotiator in the world than Donald Trump. These countries, Mexico and Canada, have been taking advantage of us because President Walnut's been in the office for the last 4 years and has basically just rolled over to anybody to give them anything. All of this is going to change. I have no idea if we'll end up slapping tariffs on Canada or Mexico, but the threat of it is enough to at least get their attention and start the conversation. This is how you negotiate. You don't negotiate by starting with what you want. No, you start by saying, we're going to put 400% tariffs on everything. And then maybe you settle on something a lot less or nothing at all if you're getting something else in exchange for that.
So Pierre has said, Pierre in Canada, he said, I don't want to stop drug overdoses to please Donald Trump. I want to stop drug overdoses so there's not another mother with her face buried in a pillow sobbing that she just lost her kid. Makes absolute sense. That's who Donald Trump needs to be talking to. And here's just your friendly reminder that Justin Trudeau is an absolute lunatic, and he loved getting the COVID vaccine.
Getting that shot really was an amazing feeling. It hits you.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas morning. Oh, it was the best day of my life getting a COVID shot. Give me another one. Give me another one.
It hits you with something like, I don't know, a vaccine injury. Let's talk about this family in Illinois. They, the mailman has been invited over to Thanksgiving dinner. This is Guy and Marcia Miller. They're from Illinois, and they invited their U.S. Postal Service mail carrier and his family to join them for Thanksgiving. After the mail carrier, Lockhart is his name, he helped Guy Miller when he fell. So Guy Miller is 75 years old, and he fell while he was walking his dog Bentley. And the mail carrier saw this. He saw him lose his balance, and he rushed over to aid him. Now, Guy Miller, the 75-year-old, he has diabetes. He lost his balance when his dog took a lunge forward, and he fell. He ended up hitting his head on the grass. He was bleeding. He was struggling to get up, and the mail carrier came to the rescue.
Hello, post office. Is there an older gentleman out that lives here? Yes. He fell down the road there. Yeah. He face planted actually.
I was just on my regular route. I came across a guy, I saw him in my rearview mirror. I saw that he was starting to lose his balance a little bit. He eventually did fall and took his tumble. I just immediately threw on my lights and I did a U-turn and I got to him as quick as I can, kind of making sure he was okay. There was a lot of blood everywhere. Got some neighbors. They went to their car, got, napkins and just whatever we can to get the blood kind of to clean it up some.
So Miller's daughter is a nurse, and she arrived on the scene to assess her father, and she confirmed that there were some deep cuts and contusions and helped with his recovery. But after the incident, the Millers posted about this on Facebook, and that led to them meeting the mail carrier and his family the following day. And they expressed how grateful they were, and the whole situation was, not what they wanted to deal with. And they ended up becoming friends. And then the Millers invited the mail carrier and his family, they have a young baby, over to spend Thanksgiving with them, and now they're lifelong friends.
I love these stories. If you remember, there was one very similar to this a few years ago where a grandmother thought she was texting one of her grandkids and inviting them over to Thanksgiving, and she texted a total random stranger. Who happened to live in the region, and they went back and forth, and she basically said, well, why don't you come over for Thanksgiving anyway? And so he did, and now every year he goes to her house for Thanksgiving. And in fact, I'm actually kind of keeping an eye on social media over the next few days because I expect them to post about it. Again, this has been going on for probably 4 or 5 or 6 years now, so these stories at this time of year are always so heartwarming. And we're in the middle of a contentious election and wars overseas, and there's tension across everybody's life. So these heartwarming stories around the holidays are always great to hear.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's the Kendall and Casey Show. That's Jim Roberts. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel, Thanksgiving Eve. Have you ever had an awkward or heated moment with family during Thanksgiving over politics? Be thinking about that. Show starts at 3, 93 WIBC.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Great holiday savings all month at Tom Roush Lincoln. And during the Lincoln Wish List sales event, select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. And all these great deals include the Lincoln Conquest Trade Assist. And don't you forget, all Lincolns come with complimentary pickup and delivery service. So get some of those holiday savings right now at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,845. Subject credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
So this new dose is, well, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
Give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel
The Washington Post management plans to end its hybrid work schedule, requiring employees to return to the office 5 days a week, kind of like the federal government, which Donald Trump has said is going to happen.
Kind of like most companies are like, time to get back in the office, people.
Mm-hmm. So employees who refuse to return to the office full-time are going to have their resignation accepted. That's according to an internal memo. You don't want to come into work? You don't have to.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
The last time all these companies tried getting employees back into the office was around 2022. But back then, if you remember, the labor market was crazy tight and employees had all the leverage. So they were not only getting raises and all sorts of vacation time, but they were able to easily say, hey, look, I'm not coming into the office. So back to the office kind of fizzled out in 2022. Now the labor market is much tighter, much harder to find a new job. It's going to be interesting to see if these companies can actually get employees back to the office again, because that attempt failed a couple of years ago. And since the Washington Post just announced that they're about to lose $77 million this year. They are going to lose $77 million this year. They've been losing money every year. It just seems like an easy way to reduce employees.
Right.
I mean, that's
cut some costs.
The employee-employer relationship is always going to be about some friction, and it's always going to be about leverage. And 2 years ago, employees had the leverage because it was an incredible tight labor market. And employers know employees love to work from home. So they're going to use that as leverage against them when they want to cut some staff. And so this is a really simple way of just cutting some staff. Tell everybody they got to be back in the office, and you're probably going to lose 20, 30% of your employees right there in one simple move.
Yeah.
Which, for a company that's losing almost $100 million a year, they've got to do something. They can't just keep doing things the way they've been doing it.
I read an article where Jeff Bezos was looking to add more conservative voices to the newspaper. He's looking at the bottom line at that 77 million, and he's seeing that, the election, 60% of the country leaning towards conservative voices. And what's missing in my game plan here? Oh, maybe it's the fact that we're not talking to people in the country.
And that's a good start, but probably just a Band-Aid on the problem. Legacy media. The fact of the matter is, journalism is a terrible business model. It's a terrible business model. It's really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't always work. And there's so much information everywhere for free, it's almost impossible to get people to pay for it. The one company that's figured it out is the New York Times. And what's most interesting about the New York Times is they've really almost taken an Amazon approach to it. Because when I buy Amazon Prime, what do I get? I get free shipping on Amazon. I get a discount at Whole Foods. I get Amazon Prime Video. The New York Times has kind of structured themselves similarly. You can buy this all-in subscription, and yeah, that gets me access to the New York Times, but I also get the crossword puzzle, and I get the New York Times Magazine. New York Times owns Wordle. They've got a very popular food and recipe section. So they've kind of bundled all of these things around journalism that aren't as expensive. And ultimately, the total purchase price subsidizes that journalism. And I think that's probably the way forward for most of these media companies. They cannot live, they cannot survive on just journalism alone. I don't see anybody doing it outside the New York Times.
Well, the thing about it, you mentioned that it's an expensive business because you can investigate something for a very long time, spend a lot of time and resources into seeking the truth, and at the end of the day, have nothing to show for your work because either there's nothing there or the powers above you say, well, we're not going to print that. I mean, look at Catherine Hedridge from CBS, right?
We had a great story here locally. What did the Indy Star do? They did a full investigative report on whether or not Micah Beckwith's claims that his father invented moose tracks was real or not.
Right.
Okay. Maybe not the best investigative reporting story to do, but they did it and they went through with it. And to their credit, they did the reporting and said, yeah, no, it turns out it's true. He did that.
Turns out that's
I'm sure
fact.
they were hoping
so
for
there's nothing there.
I'm sure they were hoping for a more salacious story than that, but they didn't get one. But that's part of the reason why journalism, and especially investigative journalism, is so difficult to make any money on because you put in all this upfront time and effort and cost, and sometimes the payout's just not there.
So William Lewis, who is the CEO of the Washington Post, said that all employees are expected to return to the office by June 2nd. So they got some
9
time,
months?
right? And the managers are required back by February 3rd. He said that in-person work emphasizes collaboration, stating that we're really good when we're all working together in person.
And I do have some sympathy for the employees because some of them, assumed that work from home would be that way forever. And they were able to move out of Washington, D.C., which is a very high cost of living area, to other parts of the country that aren't as high of a cost of living. And now the Washington Post says, hey, guys, time to get back into the office. And you live in rural Nebraska. That's going to be uprooting your life or finding a new job. So I do have some sympathy for them. But at the end of the day, Washington Post is losing $77 million a year. They've got to do something. Something has to change. This isn't a charity.
Well, they also didn't endorse anybody for president, and that resulted in 250,000 subscription cancellations. So they're hemorrhaging money, and they have all these cancellations from their base. So they weren't even super serving the people that actually want to read that newspaper.
Yeah, so the $77 million loss that they're taking this year could end up being a lot bigger next year. So things are not looking good for the Washington Post. And I think people thought that when Jeff Bezos bought that company that he was going to be their savior. And to a degree he has, because he's lost hundreds of millions of dollars on this already. But he's at some point in time
drying his tears with $100 bills is what Jeff Bezos is doing.
But Jeff Bezos has got the money to lose $100 million a year. That doesn't mean he wants to. I mean, he's going to make changes. There are going to have to be changes until they can figure out how to be profitable. And getting employees back into the office is one minor step in all of it.
So his policy at the Washington Post does reflect a similar policy stands by Amazon because he has also recently mandated that his employees return to office full-time at Amazon as well. So let's talk about the Butterball Turkey Hotline for just a sec. Can we?
Classic. Love it. Always this time of the year, we got Butterball Turkey Hotline stories.
Yeah, since 1981, Butterball has been assisting turkey hosts through their Turkey Talk line. They offer help with turkey-related issues. Be honest. If you're cooking Thanksgiving dinner for the first time, you're cooking your first bird, are you calling Butterball or are you calling Mom?
Mom, come on. What, I want to take some advice from some stranger on the telephone? No, of course you call your mom first. Is cooking a turkey that hard? I've never really struggled with it. Like I mean, and maybe I do a lot of cooking, and so maybe other people that don't cook as often have view this as this huge project of Thanksgiving Day. But it's a turkey. It's got instructions on the outside, tells you what temperature to put it at and how long to leave it in. You put it in a roasting pan and you put it in there and you keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And then when it's up to temperature, you take it out.
I think the big problem that people are running into, and according to Butterball, their most frequently asked question is, how long does it need to thaw and brine? That's the big question for most people.
Because it does catch people off guard that if you've got a 20, 25-pound frozen turkey and you want to thaw it the way experts recommend you thaw it, yeah, that can take 4 or 5 days to thaw. So if you're today, Wednesday, and your turkey's still frozen, you got this big turkey, you got to get it moving.
You can also reach out to the USDA. This is your tax dollars at work. They also have a hotline. But they say that brining, one of the most important steps when cooking a turkey, it should brine for up to 24 hours.
Agreed. Love a brine turkey.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Everything's made to be broken.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. It's the holiday season, a time for family, friends, and staying cozy inside. But if your home is drafty, it's hard to stay comfortable. And with all the gift of giving happening this time of year, why don't you give yourself the gift of lower energy bills with new windows from Universal Windows Direct. At Universal Windows Direct, if you act right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. There's no limit. Plus, Universal Windows Direct is offering 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments. Now, some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Don't wait. Make sure your home is ready for the winter and the holidays. Call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574 to schedule your free in-home estimate or visit UWD.com. Universal Windows Direct, UWD.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
According to CBS News, the average American loses out on an average of $182,000 in Social Security income, and it's because they file for their benefits at the wrong time. Learn how you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We trust Bill to help us with planning for our retirement, and you can too.
This free analysis could help you get the most income from Social Security while considering the impacts on your spousal benefits, taxes, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. Don't lose $182,000 in Social Security income. That money's rightfully yours. Call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
JMV here. This holiday season, you must visit Miss M's Home and Garden for great holiday gifts and decor. Come shop for fresh-cut trees, wreaths, garland, and greenery for outside decorating. If you have plant lovers in the family, Miss M's has a magnificent selection of houseplants that make great gifts. Now through December the 23rd, houseplants are 20% off. Miss M's Home and Garden wants to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Miss M's is located on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Coming up in 2 minutes, an IMPD officer arrested overnight in Johnson County. Plus, another officer in Anderson arrested. Sasha Nixon reports. And a Black Friday deal for you on finding a forever home for a furry friend. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
It's day one. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News of a ceasefire in place between Israel and Hezbollah.
So we have heard some reports of crossfire in southern Lebanon involving the IDF, but the IDF tells me that these are isolated events, and now officially 12 hours after taking effect, as you mentioned, the ceasefire does appear to be holding. So the Israeli government is telling people in southern Lebanon not to return to their homes just yet until the IDF fully clears out of that region. We know this is going to take place in several phases over the course of the next 2 months.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Tel Aviv also reports the fighting hasn't stopped in Gaza, where Israeli airstrikes targeting Hamas weapons storage have killed at least 15 Palestinians. President Biden again pushing for a ceasefire for Gaza. The U.S. has reportedly worked out a prisoner swap with China, freeing 3 Americans. One of them, Mark Sweetan, has been detained since 2012 and had been sentenced to death on drug-related charges. Kai Lee's been in a Chinese prison for 8 years on spying charges. John Lueng's an accused spy, also China's held since 2021. Now an update on a Trump legal case closed.
The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals now granting special counsel Jack Smith's request to drop President-elect Donald Trump's classified documents case, ending the battle to charge him over retaining classified material at his South Florida Mar-a-Lago estate.
Fox's Tom Graham. A federal judge has already approved Smith dismissing the 2020 election interference case against Trump because sitting presidents can't be prosecuted. The day before Thanksgiving, travel rush is on. Most people are driving. For those flying, it's been pretty smooth. Fox Business Network's Kelly Siberia is at Chicago's O'Hare Airport.
Right now, it doesn't feel very stressful and tense in here as it sometimes does. The lines aren't too long. The bad news, though, is with work from home, people have been able to really spread out their travel. That's why it's really not as crowded. But if you're returning on Sunday, as most people are, the airports are going to be really busy.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Another one. 42 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. An IMPD officer arrested in a domestic violence case. Officer Herman Means was arrested last night and is charged with 1 count of battery and another charge of strangulation. IMPD says that police in Johnson County were called to a home in Whiteland where they took Means into custody. Other details on what led to his arrest are not clear. Better be careful as you head to your Thanksgiving destination both today and tomorrow.
Rain looks like
it's going to begin around dinner time, so around like 4 or 5 p.m. Could be sooner than that in some locations.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service says that rain may change to snow overnight, causing some slick road conditions for Thanksgiving Day. State police say an Anderson officer is now facing charges for child solicitation and official misconduct. Sasha Nixon explains.
Joshua Senseni worked as a police officer and a school resource officer in Anderson earlier this year. In June, ISP learned that he may have sent inappropriate texts to kids while working as an SRO. Specific details about these messages were not provided, but a parent claimed they had been sent in May. Senseni was then placed on administrative leave in July and was arrested Tuesday morning. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
When you think of Black Friday, you probably imagine discounts on things like electronics, but for the Humane Society of Hamilton County...
This Black Friday, we're going to be hosting a Fill Your Heart, Not Your Cart adoption event where eligible animals are going to be $10 for adoption.
Lily Darling with AHSHC, she says that the promotion is only for animals who are considered to be at risk if they stay in the shelter much longer. Colts linebacker Zaire Franklin still believes he and his teammates can make a run at the playoffs.
Why not go on a run? Why not? Why not us? Why not? I've done it before. To be honest with you, I hate that I'm always in this position, but I've been there before.
Indy is 5-7 and on the outside looking in as the playoff picture stands now. They face the New England Patriots this Sunday. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
We know that around the holidays, things don't always go as planned. That's why Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles, the best warranty around. So make memories this season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. Every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, plus a free Carfax history report. Choose from over 2,000 Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes and models. Certified luxury, even the hard-to-find ones. No matter where your plans take you, spread cheer all season long, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's jewelry experts.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
It is Wednesday, November 27th. It is 5 minutes after 10. It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. Rob Kendall has the day off, and Jim Roberts is joining me in the studio today. And the FCC won't let me be, but one thing they have done is approved SpaceX to start commercial operations of its cellular Starlink service for phones. SpaceX can now provide satellite-based cellular connectivity within and outside the United States using its second-generation Starlink network. So what does this mean? Well, it means Starlink satellites will be able to broadcast direct to your cell phone. There will be no dead zone anywhere in the world for your cell phone anymore. Game changer, right?
It could be an absolute huge game changer, and it could be Elon Musk completely taking over and dominating another huge industry. So when you use your phone today and you're out of the house and away from your Wi-Fi, you've got to connect to a cell tower.
Right.
Cell
You're
towers
roaming.
You're roaming. You've got to connect to a cell tower so you can get phone calls, so you can get your data, so you can check Twitter, whatever you're doing on your phone. Starlink is an internet service provider that is satellite based. So Starlink has shot all of these satellites into space and they beam the internet down. And what's the great part about that is you can get Starlink pretty much anywhere in the world, and it's an active product right now. You get this tiny little dish. It looks like if you were to take a big book and open it up. That's about the size of it. And it's this flat panel, and it's your satellite receiver, and you just point it in the sky, and it tells you where to point it, and you can get internet access. So what the FCC has done here is said, okay, we've approved for you to send internet access from your satellites to these little satellite dishes. Now, Elon, you're approved to send internet access from your Starlink satellites directly to mobile phones.
Yeah, a lot
That
of
is
people
gonna
who
be
do
a big deal.
a lot of people who do RVs use this because no matter where they travel throughout the country in their RV, they've got connectivity.
Where this is getting to be really popular, and I've seen it a lot lately, is tailgating. And obviously we know this because we've done a lot of tailgating, especially at college football games in our career. And what happens is you get 100,000 people in a small little area and the cell towers get overloaded.
Right.
And so you can't
get a signal
You
out.
can't get a signal. You can't even text somebody. So what people are doing is they're setting up their tailgate in the parking lot and they're using Starlink. And that way they can set up a Wi-Fi hotspot so they can, broadcast and stream their television and watch the game in their tailgate spot in the parking lot. They can text their friends. They can get all that connectivity. Now imagine if that was available on your phone in your pocket. You'd have no more dead zones. You'd have no more, dropped calls. You could get the internet anywhere you want right there on your phone. And where this is going, and Elon and Tesla and Starlink haven't come out and said this, but where this is going is eventually it's more than likely Tesla is going to launch their own cell phone.
Yeah. Well, you could see the benefit of this with what happened with Hurricane Helene. People couldn't talk. Phone lines are down, not able to tell people where they're located, that they need help. And if you have this Starlink, well, it's going to be everywhere.
Huge benefit to public safety with Starlink because, again, like you said, during natural disasters, hurricanes, fires, flooding, cell towers are usually one of the first things to go down. Even power outages. We see this a lot of times that, you lose your cell signal. You certainly lose your home Wi-Fi with a power outage. But the Tesla phone is coming, and it will be interesting to see. Everything Elon puts his hands on, he eventually ends up dominating. Electric vehicles, shooting rockets into space, digital payments. If Elon ends up dominating the mobile phone industry and knocking Apple off the top of the roost, it'll be another incredible success story for him.
The FCC acknowledged that the satellite-to-device connectivity supports public interest benefits, like we just mentioned, what happened with Hurricane Helene, and that includes all the connectivity, remote 911 access. Imagine if you're in a rural area where you're not near a cell tower. This eliminates any of those problems. And they also say that it will benefit with all the technological advancements. SpaceX has been authorized to orbit its second-generation satellites 200 kilometers closer to Earth, which is going to reduce some of the latency with this. So far, SpaceX has launched over 320 cellular Starlink satellites, and they're ready now to offer this direct-to-cell network. They're actually partnering with T-Mobile to serve U.S. customers in some cellular dead zones.
Is there anything Elon Musk can't do? Everything he touches, he wins. It's incredible.
Some people are saying that he's no longer the first buddy to Donald Trump, but they should start calling him Uncle Elon.
Uncle Elon,
because he's around so much. He even was hanging around with Kai Trump. We've got some audio of that we'll try to get to later in the show. But here is Elon Musk talking about the fact that there will be no cell phone dead zones in the world.
Because even if an entire region or country was lost connectivity because of a severe, hurricane or floods or fires or tornadoes, earthquakes. There's so many natural disasters, obviously. You would actually still have, even if all the cell towers were taken out, your phone would still work. Thank you.
So he was also hanging around with Kai Trump, and they were talking about his starships. And he was asking, she put a bunch of this on her vlog. Could you imagine you're Kai Trump, first of all?
This is Trump's granddaughter, Kai Trump,
she's 17, I believe. She spoke at the RNC, and she actually sounded like she wasn't overly scripted. She seemed like she was just a touch nervous, as you would think a normal 17-year-old would be.
She comes across as very genuine, very authentic, and very much just like an average run-of-the-mill 17-year-old.
But she's not an average run-of-the-mill 17-year-old. I mean, think about who her granddad is, and now she's hanging out with Elon Musk, and they were talking about all of his rockets, and here he is just explaining to her.
What did you say the top speed was?
For this flight, it'll do about 17,000 miles an hour. But for going to Mars, you'd go much faster than that. So maybe 35,000. Depends on how fast you want to go to Mars, but maybe 35,000 miles an hour.
What's the quickest time frame to get to Mars with our current technology?
If you want to maximize payload, it takes 6 months. You could potentially get it down to like 3 or 4 months if you're willing to sacrifice payload.
Okay.
Does the weight matter once you're in space as much or not really? You've got to accelerate mass to a velocity to basically the Mars transfer velocity. So there's a cost benefit of getting it going. If you have less payload, you can go faster. That's in the beginning would maximize payload to be like 6 months.
Yeah, so much information in such a short video, and those were some rapid-fire questions. And did you hear how quickly Elon was on top of it? Sometimes you see him speaking in a panel, and he takes his time, or he's very deliberate, or he even stutters. But when it comes to, his rockets, he's on it. He's just like, I got these answers right here.
I don't know if you saw, there's a great viral video that's all over Twitter and TikTok right now of this woman telling this story about how she met Elon Musk at a conference and they started talking with each other and they had a lot in common and had a nice conversation. At the end of the conversation, he says, hey, would you like to come up to my hotel room and watch rocket videos? And she was kind of like,
is he coming on to me? What's going on?
Sure. Go to your hotel room and watch rocket videos. And she was like, okay, I guess. And they went up to his hotel room and they actually watched rocket videos. And that was it. And that was the end of their evening.
Kai Trump doing a great job with her vlogs. And I think she needs to do more behind the scene videos of Donald Trump because it's endearing. It's him in his natural habitat, right?
It is. It's great. And she
very
did this
humanizing.
Talking with Elon. She and Elon talked about video games. She asked if he played Fortnite. He doesn't. He plays other first-person shooter games, but they had a great conversation about video games, and it is very endearing and humanizes these people when she has these conversations with them.
So Scott Jennings from CNN, he has been on fire lately.
He's a rock star.
Yeah, and here he is pointing out that X is more ideologically balanced after Elon Musk bought the platform.
Also, I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott,
of any platform.
stop. It's too early. I just sat down. I've only been here for 2 minutes. You cannot continue to say
that.
You cannot say that. That's not the case. Who's the source of that?
What I find, we've reported it on this network.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
Okay, I'll let you make your statement.
Scott,
what's your source? The station we're on
CNN,
right now.
the network we're on. What a perfect encapsulation of the echo chamber and the bubble that the media lives in. He makes a simple point. And by the way, that data came from the New York Times. It was a New York Times piece of data that talked about how X was about 75% liberal, 25% conservative before Elon bought it. And now it's about 50-50. And liberals and the media can't believe it. They were shocked. Oh, come on. I just sat down. I just got here, Scott. Don't hit me with some BS like this. Where are you sourcing this? And it's more than one person. You can hear him in the back. Where's your source? Where's your source? CNN, the network that we're on right now. That's my source.
On.
So how about you get outside of your echo chamber in your bubble and live in the real world? Yeah.
How long do you think he'll be there at CNN? I mean, he's like the lone voice for the conservative side on that network.
He's the only reason why anybody would watch CNN. That's get rid of Anderson Cooper, get rid of Aaron Burnett, put Scott Jennings into a higher position at CNN because he's the most entertaining thing on that network right now.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine he'll be there that long because it's just the dissenting view constantly, and they're always fighting with him.
He is the token Republican. Even CNN always has the token Republican, somebody there, and that's him right now, and he has been the rock star of that network ever since the election.
So the incoming White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, she announced that Trump is executing a memorandum of understanding with President Joe Biden's White House. This is all in their goal to have a smooth transition, and the engagement allows their intended cabinet nominees to begin critical preparations, get information that they're going to need as they all get into their departments and agencies and into the White House. And she says they want to do it in a complete and orderly manner as they transition the power from one party to another. But the governor of Virginia put out this video, and it's kind of interesting. Here he is inviting the new Trump administration members to live in Virginia instead of D.C. or Maryland.
I'm Glenn Youngkin, Governor of the great Commonwealth of Virginia. And to the new members of President Trump's administration moving to the area, I want to personally invite you to make Virginia your home. Virginia is right across the Potomac. We offer a great quality of life, safe communities, award-winning schools where parents matter, and lower taxes than D.C. or Maryland. It's why so many people choose Virginia as the best place to live, work, and raise a family.
Okay, so I appreciate that. You and I are going to be headed to Virginia.
In just a few hours.
In an hour and a half.
Yes, we are.
Get off the air today. Take
and smart on his
9-hour drive.
Smart on his part, because anytime you change administrations like this, you've got a whole new crop of employees moving to town.
Yeah.
And so he's out there pushing, saying, hey, come to my state.
Yeah, except he did say that taxes were lower. However, wow, it's expensive there.
Yeah, lower. Didn't say low, said lower.
So I just put in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Zillow
for Northern Virginia.
In Virginia. I didn't even specify Northern Virginia. I just the whole state. Let's see what we've got. Oh, there's one in Round Hill, Virginia, $675,000. This one is in Marshall, Virginia, 3 beds. It's got 5 baths. $2 million.
Wait, 3 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms.
It's beautiful.
I'm sure it's lovely.
It goes on the market December 7th. There's another one here. This is in Spotsylvania, Virginia. 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,500 square feet, $789,000. It just goes on and on. The Plains in Virginia. This is a big house. Wow, that's a big house. Over 4,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 6 bath, $4.3 million.
The D.C. metro area has been home to the highest cost of living for the last 5 to 10 years out of any market in the entire country. And it is... it's embarrassing that that's the way. The capital where all these government employees work have driven up the price and the cost of living there the last few years.
So this is one, I found one that's the closest to what I filtered in. So I said 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. This is in King George, Virginia. It's 3 bedroom, 3 bath, $450,000.
That's the most reasonably priced one we've seen. And by the way, King, I don't know where any of these places are, but if you've got a commute into downtown D.C., my guess is you've got a minimum 1-hour one-way commute with any of those places.
Depending on traffic, what's going on the Beltway. Wow, this one is nearly $8 million for 3 bedrooms, 3 bath. It's expensive there.
A lot of money in D.C.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to try something new. We're going to have a little fun. This is Turkey, Trot, or Truck, and this is listener participation. So we're looking for somebody who is enthusiastic, somebody who wants to have some fun, somebody who wants to get excited. You need to call right now, 317-239-9393. 317-239-9393. It's Turkey, Trot, or Truck. Your goal is to get your adopted turkey to cross Rockville Road. We're right there by Meyer.
Busy highway.
Road.
It's a busy road.
There's construction right there across from the Take 5 oil change. There's a Qdoba there. Lots of traffic. Can you get your adopted turkey to cross Rockville Road without getting hit by a truck? If you're up for it, call right now. 239-9393. It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Ceasefire deal with Iran-backed Hezbollah militants could be just days away.
Tentatively agreed to a U.S.-backed proposal.
93 WIBC.
Shootings happened this weekend at the Brass Flamingo Strip Club.
Numerous shots rang out.
191 homicides this year.
Hear the news.
Indiana's first loss to second-ranked Ohio State dropped them from 5th to 10th.
Another news update is minutes away.
Notre Dame went up from 6th to 5th.
93 WIBC Mobile News. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Avoid Black Friday frenzy at Sullivan Hardware and Garden with donuts, coffee, and mimosas early on the 29th while saving big. Shop, play, experience Christmas with Sullivan's.
Are you ready to have some fun?
I'm ready to have some fun.
I am too. It is something new we're going to try here. Turkey, trot, or truck. We've got Scott on the phone. Scott is from Westfield. How are you this morning, Scott?
Oh, I'm wonderful. It's a beautiful day.
Yes. Do you have big plans for Thanksgiving? What are you going to be doing?
I'm going to sit around the house all day in my pajamas.
Best day ever.
I know. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving? Is it the family? Is it the food? Is it the sports? What's top on your list?
Getting together with friends and family, seriously. It's one of the greatest parts of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have people that are going to be coming from out of town to visit you, or you're not going anywhere?
No, we are seriously staying home this year. We've already had our Thanksgiving celebration.
Oh, nice.
And we're taking a day off.
Good for you. Well, I hope you enjoy your relaxing time at home. We've got a project for you, and I need you to be enthusiastic. I need you to be excited about this. Your goal is to take an adopted turkey and try to get this turkey to cross Rockville Road without getting hit by a truck. We want your turkey to trot. Now, you know Rockville Road right there in Avon. It's a very busy road. Myers there. You've got the Take 5 oil change. There's Qdoba. Lots of restaurants. Lots of stores. There's even construction. So it's a busy, backed up road. Whenever the dude and I are going grocery shopping there at Meijer, it takes us a lot longer to get there than it probably should because of all of the traffic. So are you up for this challenge?
I think so, but I'm pretty sure that this turkey is not going to make it.
Well, it's up to you. You have to do everything in your power, whether that's bribe him, talk to him so that he understands you, coach him, cheer him, whatever you've got to do to get this turkey to cross the road. Now, first of all, are you going to name your bird?
Let's name him Tom.
Tom.
Classic.
Yes,
Tom.
That's original.
Yeah.
That's real original, you know.
Tom the turkey. All right, Tom, we're going to get the show on the road. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Get your turkey to trot.
Come on, Scott.
All right, come on. Run. Get across there. Run. No, turn right. No, left. No. Watch out for that truck. Keep moving. Go. Run.
Look out.
Watch out. Run. Run.
Frog up here.
Turn left. No, not that way. The other way. way. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's move in.
Tom the turkey.
Go. You can do it. You can do it. You can do this. Go, Tom, go.
Oh, Scott.
Man.
Wow.
Semi-trucks are undefeated.
Yeah, there are 13.5 million trucks on the road
They
right now
always
for
win.
Thanksgiving.
They
Sorry, Scott.
In other news, 36 will be closed for the next hour and a half for a death investigation.
Right, you thought traffic was bad before. Nobody's getting through now.
Woo! Well, we appreciate you playing along this morning, Scott. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your restful day at home.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing along.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
You think the Bible's boring? It's hard to understand? This is Pastor Nathan from Life Church. We explain the Bible book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse. We know God's Word breathes life into people Sunday after Sunday. And when we finish a book, not only will you understand it, but we believe that it'll change you. We just started the book of John, and it reveals who God is. If you're just curious or you've walked with the Lord for a long time, we'd love to have you come. Check out lifechurchin.com for service times and locations.
Text scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry, McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. So what does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Hey, it's Casey Daniels. You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing, and that's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your devices, privacy, and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. Act fast, though. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends December 4th. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell, it's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Better get there early. It's 42 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Airports are busy with tomorrow being Thanksgiving. There are nearly 600 delayed flights as of this morning, but just over 20 cancellations at last check, according to the tracking site FlightAware. The TSA advises travelers need to be at the airport at least 2 hours early. An agreement reached for when President-elect Trump is set to take power on Inauguration Day. Fox's Jared Halpern.
A memorandum of understanding required for transition officials to work with existing federal employees has been signed after a delay. But a separate agreement with the General Services Administration allowing access to government offices and email accounts for the transition team was declined. The White House and transition team were supposed to sign a memo before the election as part of a process that ensures an orderly transfer of power on Inauguration Day. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Indiana Hoosiers take on the Louisville Cardinals in about a half hour. You can catch that game right here on 93 WIBC starting at 11. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Well, just in time for Thanksgiving, the Biden administration proposed a rule that would allow Medicare and Medicaid to cover the popular weight loss drugs like Wegovy and Zepbound for people with obesity. The rule would apply to individuals with a BMI of 30 or higher, which potentially affects millions of Americans, and they could now access the drugs. The proposal is expected to cost you, Mr. and Mrs. Taxpayer, up to $35 billion.
Is that all? That's it?
Over the next decade.
Only $35 billion, and everybody gets a weight loss drug. You get a weight loss drug. You get a weight loss drug.
Everybody gets a weight loss drug. The U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Becerra, he said it's a game changer for people who can't afford the drugs otherwise. You know what's free?
What's free?
Walking.
Exercising.
Putting down the fork.
Eating less. All of that's free. We live in a country where the vast majority of people are obese and overweight. And physical fitness and health has been front and center for 30 or 40 years. And the problem just keeps getting worse. It's not getting better. So I don't know if Ozempic is the answer to all of this, but it seems like we've got to keep trying something. I'm a little teed off that the American taxpayer is going to have to pony up the $35 billion bill for all of this, but the chronic health issues that happen because of obesity are probably going to be a lot more than that. Probably going to cost us more than that.
Makes the MAHA movement more important than ever, doesn't it? Because guess what? If this passes, Biden gets his way, this will go into effect during Trump's term.
During Trump's administration. And you know, hey, the best case scenario is this is a great investment. A ton of people lose a ton of weight. They have less health problems and less health costs going forward after that. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is this drug hasn't been on the market very long. We don't know the long-term consequences and side effects. And most of the reports are that as soon as you go off Ozempic, all of that weight comes right back on again.
So 3.5 million people on Medicare and 4 million people on Medicaid could qualify, though about 28 million people on Medicaid are considered obese. And these drugs, they say, can help you lose between 15 and 25% of your body weight. It mimics hormones that regulate your appetite. But these drugs are expensive. Wegovy costs about $1,300 a month and Zepbound around $1,000 a month. And there's been shortages that have affected the availability. So there are more people who even want to get on this medication, but they're not able to.
Would you take it?
No.
You wouldn't take it. So if the doctor, if your doctor said, hey, you know what, you could stand to lose a few pounds, what do you think about Ozempic?
No, I wouldn't do it.
Be a hard pass.
You know me. I'd rather do it the natural way. Get on the treadmill, lift the weights, and just eat less and healthier. And that's what we've really tried to do recently it's more expensive, which is unfortunate, but we've become label readers and just eating more natural.
Hey, we're part of the MAHA movement.
Yeah.
Make America Healthy Again movement. We try and avoid ultra-processed foods or processed foods at all. We cook almost all of our meals at home. We'll go out to a restaurant on the weekends. Occasionally.
It's not worth it as much to me anymore because the ingredients that they're using aren't good for you and it's expensive. You are a great cook. You can make better food.
We rarely eat fast food anymore. And this came from a history. There was a period of time where we ate fast food a lot. And I love fast food. I love food of all kind. And I don't discriminate against, what some people would think would be unhealthy or not as high quality fast food. I love it, but I don't do it anymore because it's not good for you, and try and cook as much as possible. And I'm with you. I don't have any interest in taking Ozempic. I know Hammer was big on that when he did his most recent weight loss project.
Didn't.
He was big on not taking it.
Yeah,
correct.
not taking it.
He agreed with us.
He did it the hard way with exercise and eating.
He wanted to do it the right way,
properly.
And he lost a ton of weight on that too. So I'm with you. I don't have any interest in taking Ozempic to lose weight.
Robert Kennedy Jr. said that he's opposing the drug use, and he prefers expanding coverage for healthier foods and gym memberships. He would rather take that money to promote healthy weight loss rather than a pharmaceutical route. I mean, I said it yesterday to pharmaceuticals. If you're in a situation where you're have a chronic disease or needing surgery, it's wonderful that they're there.
They are life-saving in many instances.
Yes, and we have a lot of experience in that. But when it's something that you can do with just some discipline, I'd rather.
You've got to avoid, and there are.
You do that.
We're in a situation where, yes, you're right. There are many life-saving, great medications that help people with chronic diseases, and there are many medications that are way overprescribed, and there are far too many people on far too many medications in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to just increase now because now Ozempic's going to be available for Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, that Trump's incoming administration may oppose this.
And may reverse it.
They're going to have to deal with it.
It's like we're living in the twilight zone here until the inauguration. Biden's doing all this crazy stuff.
Last-minute stuff he's trying to push through
here.
Yeah.
And it could be, active and live for 2 months, and as soon as Trump gets in there, it all goes away.
So the mayor of Tucson, Arizona, said that she's going to use police force to protect illegal immigrants in her city.
Dear Tucsonans, as your mayor, I want to reassure every single resident that I am committed to do all we can to keep our community safe. I am deeply troubled by President-elect Trump's plans for mass deportation. I believe they are cruel and immoral. I will work with our police chief to make sure that our focus remains on protecting and serving Tucsonans.
So will she change her tune as soon as the National Guard shows up to fulfill the mandate?
Well, did she not learn anything from the mayor of Denver that came out and said something very similar? And then when he got pushed back from Tom Homan, the border czar, it was like, oh, wait. No, that's not what I meant.
Okay, speaking of the mayor of Denver, Sean Hannity was asking the incoming border czar, Tom Homan, about this. And he asked, who has jurisdiction when it comes to these mayors in these sanctuary cities that are fighting this? Who actually has jurisdiction?
And I want you to be clear about who has jurisdiction, the federal government or state and local governments. And if you're a sanctuary state or city, are you breaking the law?
You're absolutely breaking the law. All you have to do is look at Arizona versus U.S., you'll see these breaking the law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail.
There it is. Tom Homan. He's a guy we've needed, right? No nonsense, Tom Homan.
The Democrats love criminals. That's what you can conclude from all of this. They were all for defund the police. We've got issues here with our own criminals being given no cash bail, not being prosecuted for violent crimes. And now they said that they want illegal immigrants, and every illegal immigrant has broken the law because they've entered this country illegally. Mm-hmm. We've got mayors saying, no, we're going to resist the federal government and ICE and Border Patrol coming in here and deporting illegal immigrants. There's the only conclusion you can make from all of this information the last several years is Democrats love criminals.
I think Tom Homan has a new theme song. You ready for it?
Please, I can't wait to hear it.
Here it is. I think I love you. I love hearing him just talk strong.
No nonsense, straight to the point. Mm-hmm. Here's what we're going to do, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Partridge Family. Kevin, did you know that song?
I know. I didn't. I wasn't familiar with it. No, but I know the Partridge Family. It's just kind of before my time.
Kevin, there's no way you shouldn't know this song. Okay, it's perfectly acceptable. It'd be weird if you did know that song.
It would be weird if you did. Well, for the first time in 50 years, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is going to air on NBC this December after being a staple on CBS since 1972. So a 75-minute special is going to air on Friday, December 6th. Starts at 8 o'clock on NBC, celebrating its 60th anniversary.
the original Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Yukon Cornelius, Santa, all the reindeer,
Hermie the
elves,
dentist.
Hermie the dentist.
Yes.
These are classics. I'm glad that this is the case because there was a movement a few years ago where a lot of these Christmas shows got put on the streaming platforms, Amazon and Apple, and you had to have a subscription to get a hold of it. So I'm glad to hear that Rudolph is going to be on broadcast TV where everybody can watch it for free.
So you mentioned streaming. Neither Rudolph nor Frosty are going to be available for streaming this year. They can be rented or purchased, of course.
So we don't get either of those.
No.
Gee,
you're going to have to rent it or purchase it.
And that's probably the old man in me sitting here saying, oh, in my day, we used to be able to get all of the classic cartoons for Christmas time available on broadcast TV for free. No longer the case.
So, believe it or not, Rudolph originally aired on CBS in 1964. I believe it aired there for 6 or 7 years, and then it moved to CBS, and it's been on CBS since 1972. So, this will be a coming back home, so to speak, for Rudolph, going back to NBC. Another animated classic, Frosty the Snowman, also moving from CBS to NBC this year. That's going to air Thursday, December 5th at 8:30. Same situation, aired on CBS for years and years, and now they're both returning back to NBC. Some things I didn't know about the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story can be traced back to 1939 when Robert May, he was a copywriter for Montgomery Ward, he created the character as a promotion, right? For the store. Yep. He wrote the book, and he did it in the same meter as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. The Montgomery Wards, they gave away 2.4 million copies of the story in its first year. And then the song came later. The guy who wrote the song was May's brother-in-law. So he wrote the story about Rudolph, turned it over to his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law wrote the song. Of course, Gene Autry recorded the first version in 1949. They originally considered naming Rudolph Rollo or even Reginald before deciding to use the name Rudolph.
Reginald that's a little too high class, uppity of a kind of name, I think.
Reginald.
Reginald.
The red-nosed reindeer.
Seems a little snooty. Reginald seems like he, has his butler deliver his breakfast to his bedroom every morning.
So there was a series of stamps that came out in 2014 that celebrated Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Robert May, the guy who wrote the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, he came up with the idea while he was staring out of his office window in downtown Chicago. He was looking at a thick fog across Lake Michigan, which was blocking his view, and it gave him a flash of inspiration. He said, suddenly I had a nose, a bright red nose that would shine through the fog like a spotlight. By the way, the copyright for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer expires on 2034.
Yeah, Rudolph, please, would you tone it down a bit? I mean, that nose of yours. That nose. That beautiful, wonderful nose.
Huh?
Rudolph, Christmas is not off, and you're going to lead my team.
I am?
Yes, sir. You and that wonderful nose of yours.
My nose, sir?
From what I see now, that'll cut through the murkiest storm they can dish up. What I'm trying to say is, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
It will be an honor, sir.
So, my favorite part of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is when Clarice says, I'm cute.
I'm cute. I can't believe it. Rudolph, we have Montgomery Wards to thank for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'd never heard that story before.
Yeah, you have Robert May, who worked at Montgomery Ward, just trying to come up with a promotion.
Trying to come up with an idea to sell some shoes and pants at Montgomery Ward and came up with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I absolutely love that story now. And the copyright expiring in what, 2034?
2034.
You know what that means?
What?
You know when all these...
there's going to be a horror?
It's going to be Rudolph the Vampire Hunter. That'll be the first thing they do. It's what they do with all of these cartoon characters when it expires.
You're listening to the Kendall Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
If there's one thing Midwesterners love, it's gravy. So we're going to talk about how to make some that doesn't suck tonight on the Tony Kinnacast, 7 p.m. or the podcast anytime.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndie.com. and grow your hair back today.
Strike gold with the best ticket deals of the season.
Halliburton on the move, bouncing it into the lane. You will not see a better pick and roll than that. Turner dunks it with a right hand.
Pacer tickets starting at just $5.
Now he goes behind the back. Turner for three.
Gold Friday presented by KeyBank is your chance to get tickets to some of the biggest games starting at just $5. These deals won't last long. Head to Pacers.com/Gold Friday. That's Pacers.com/Gold Friday to get yours.
Your love isn't confined to an advent calendar. It doesn't stop when the Christmas lights come down. With the Salvation Army, your love lasts all year long. It puts a Christmas present under someone's tree today and a roof over someone's head tomorrow. It brightens Christmas morning and the hardest nights for hardworking families. Together, we love beyond Christmas. Give $25 a month to support local families all year long at sacentralindiana.org.
Custom home builder Joiner Homes is truly a one-stop shop because every stage of the process is done in one location. From picking the perfect home site to selecting the ideal floor plan, their architecture team will create a set of custom blueprints. Then into the design studio where you'll personalize every detail of your new home. A dedicated project manager oversees the home construction through completion. Joiner Homes will build you the most beautiful custom home. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joinerhomes.com.
Do you hear that? These are the sounds of our jeweler's workshop at Shane Company, where they're working their magic to bring beautiful, fine jewelry gifts to life. At Shane Company, we love jewelry as much as you do, and we know what it takes to create something special. No matter your budget, we craft our jewelry with expert care to be passed down for generations. With jewelry craftsmen in every store and an unmatched free lifetime warranty, we're here to make sure your jewelry always shines bright. Stop by and shop online at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
So we just got some news we weren't expecting. IU basketball is coming up at 11, so our show is going to be an hour shorter. So we're going to make you do a turkey trot or truck really quick, okay?
Right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I want you to get your
fine.
turkey to cross 465. Is it going to have a name?
Reginald.
Reginald.
Just like from the we heard from the Rudolph break last time. Yes.
All right,
Reginald.
get your Reginald turkey to cross 465. Go.
Let's go. Come on, turkey. Get moving. Cross that road. Cross that road. Reginald. Oh, Reginald.
Look out. There's a lot of
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
are the big winner. Look at that. Yes. The turkey made it. Congratulations. You get to have Thanksgiving dinner.
It's a Thanksgiving miracle.
It is.
It's a Festivus miracle.
One of the other big things that happens on Thanksgiving, besides the food and the family, it's a big weekend for sports. You've got a lot of sports. IU versus Purdue in the old Oaken Bucket game. Of course, Purdue leads that series 77-42. You've got Notre Dame versus USC. Lots of NFL, traditional NFL Thanksgiving Day games. Bears, Lions, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Packers. So, before we get out of here, Jim.
Yes.
You have got to do your sports hierarchy. What are the best sports games to watch this weekend?
So I've done this every day this week. I've done a hierarchy. I did the top Thanksgiving sides. I did the top pies for Thanksgiving, and now these are the top games that you've got to watch. Spoiler alert, they're all football. Basketball, you're adorable. Hockey, whatever. This is a football weekend. So starting at number 5.
Yeah.
Auburn versus number 13 Alabama, 3:30 Saturday on ABC. This is the Iron Bowl. It's a fantastic rivalry and is also responsible for probably the greatest college football play in history.
Kick six.
2013, the kick six. Alabama misses a field goal. Auburn grabs it, runs it all the way back for a touchdown. Game over. The most incredible play I've ever seen in my life.
Now, who are we going to root for in this game? I'm going for Alabama. You know I love Nick Saban. I know he's not there anymore, but I still say Roll Tide.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I kind of like Alabama. I'm with you on this, so I'm going to be rooting for Alabama, and it's likely that they'll win. Number 4, going to the NFL. This is just based off of tradition and nothing else, but the Giants versus the Cowboys, 4:30 on Thanksgiving Day
America's
on
team.
Fox. Both teams are god-awful. They're disasters. They're terrible, awful seasons for both the Giants and the Cowboys. So if you eat too much during Thanksgiving and you end up napping through some or all of this game, no big deal, but that is my number 4 game for this weekend.
Okay, this is Jim's hierarchy of sports to watch this Thanksgiving weekend. Number 3.
Black Friday NFL. Raiders at the Chiefs, 3 o'clock on Amazon Prime. This is new. So the NFL last year was the first year they ever had a game on Black Friday, and they decided they liked it so much, we're going to make it an annual tradition. You got Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce up against Gardner Minshew and the Raiders on Thanksgiving. That's number 3.
I know you'll be cheering for the Chiefs, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I lived in Kansas City for a couple of years, so I've got a soft spot in my heart for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I love Patrick Mahomes. So I'm definitely pulling for the Chiefs on that one. Number 2, Notre Dame at USC, 3:30 on Saturday.
Wait a minute. I'd like to make a correction. That's Notre Dame versus Southern Cal.
They hate it when you call them Southern Cal, so, of course, I always like to call them Southern Cal. Notre Dame's best rival. It is called the greatest intersectional rivalry in all of college football. They've been doing it for almost 100 years. Notre Dame versus USC, that's number 2.
Okay, we've been to a lot of these Notre Dame USC games over the years. What is your favorite Notre Dame song that gets you charged up? Is it the 1812 Overture?
It would be Ship It Up to Boston by the Dropkick Murphys. That is the song that is played inside Notre Dame Stadium before they kick off every single time. So that is my number 1 get you going Notre Dame song.
Wouldn't it be something if Notre Dame and Indiana played each other in the semifinals?
That'd be amazing. And if they could do it at South Bend for the first round in the college football playoffs, it'd be fabulous.
That would be awesome.
Number 1. This should be no surprise. They call it the game for a reason. Michigan at Ohio State, noon on Saturday on Fox. It is the greatest rivalry in all of college football.
And let's hope that the Ohio State University Buckeyes kick the crap out of those nose pickers from Ann Arbor.
Go Blue!
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Jim, for coming in. Thank you, Kevin. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll catch you back here on Monday. It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. Happy Thanksgiving!
Okay, we are running a car drive right now. to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Ready, set, go. Are you ready for this Friday's frenzy? Hey, Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Thanksgiving is a day for families to get together, but Friday, a whole different story. Avoid the frenzy and join us early on Friday. From 7:30 to 9:30, we'll be serving freshly made donuts, coffee, and mimosas. Enjoy a little breakfast and see our specials, like 20% off any artificial Christmas wreath. Look at our pre-lit Christmas trees. You can actually see 140 different styles ranging from 2 to 14 foot tall, on sale before Christmas at 30% off. Visit our two unique gift shops, one at 71st and Keystone and one at Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Save on Christmas gifts, decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Pick up your copy of Frenzy Friday coupons for all-day added savings. Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Rob. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. Restrictions apply. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
For all your home's heating, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons. Chapman. Furnace tune-ups right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com.
Join Sullivan Hardware and Garden early on Friday. Enjoy a little breakfast and save on gifts, decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Shop, play, experience Christmas with Sullivan's.
Stay connected. Stay connected with news on the go. Online, on Alexa, and Google Home on 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1, Indianapolis.
Your one blood donation can help save the lives of up to 3 people. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Visit redcrossblood.org today.
Indiana has won. They have knocked off the #1 ranked team in the country. Unbelievable. Incredible. As the Hoosier Ball Club goes wild, they know they've won the national championship. Steve Alford just came down and batted Joe Hillman on the head. They are going to celebrate tonight in New Orleans as Indiana will go on to the championship game. And Indiana Max has won the national championship for the 2nd time under Bobby Knight and the 4th time in the school's history. Jump shot in the air. Goal! 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. The Hoosiers have won the national championship. It's over. Indiana wins the national championship for 1981.
on the CareSource Radio Network. From Learfield, this is Indiana Hoosier Basketball. Brought to you by Central Indiana Honda Dealers. Your Central Indiana Honda dealers are proud supporters of IU Athletics. And by Green and Schultz Trial Lawyers, a winning team for victims of injury and loss. More at greenschultz.com. Now, from the Smithville Broadcast Center, this is Hoosier Pregame. Here's the voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fisher.
Live from Imperial Arena at the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis at the Atlantis Resort in the Bahamas. This is IU basketball. The Hoosiers are 4-0 and ranked number 14 in the AP poll. They've had a nice start to the season, but the competition will ramp up this week in a loaded Battle for Atlantis field, including today's matchup for the 4-0 Hoosiers as they take on the 3-1 Louisville Cardinals. Hello, everyone. Off Surrender, along with Eric Soar and John Herrick with you here from the Bahamas in game